Hey y'all, happy Monday. Leaving work right now. Let me roll my windows. Currently leaving work right now. It's kind of one of those days, you feel me? A little slow to get up. Roll out of bed a little late, but good day though, nonetheless. Made it to work. It's actually really gorgeous out. So no excuses, I'm here. I'm alive. Which feels good. But I got work to do, There's always more to do. Just gotta find the time, create the time, make the sacrifices, do what's best for me. That's what I gotta do. But that's the difficult part about life. Is we know what we have to do, but we choose not to do it. Fuck. Gosh. In a precarious situation right now here in my car. Kind of difficult to leave the parking lot, which is unfortunate. Low-key kind of blocked in. Oh well. Guess I'll wait. Okay, I want to talk about something more specific. Found it very interesting. So, today's Monday. On I think it might have been yesterday morning, Sunday, if not Saturday. I think it was yesterday. Yeah. So what I did was I meditated a little bit. Like after my morning routine, got up, shower, went for a walk, just didn't have work, so kind of chill, relaxing morning, coffee, and then shit. Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry. And so I did my morning routine, which is nice. Always appreciate the weekend because I have more time on my hands. And then I went into my bedroom, turned on my fan just for some noise, closed my curtains, made it as dark as possible. And when I meditate, I like to lie down on my bedroom floor. Just flat, no pillows, nothing. I know some people like to use maybe sit down with their legs crossed, different positions, whatever. I like to lie down when I meditate. Anyways, lie down. It was fine, just focusing on my breath and trying to relax my mind. And I find that meditating sometimes can be hard. Meditating can be a little bit difficult because if it's not something that you practice on a regular basis, like anything that's new, it can be difficult. But I found myself just telling myself, all right, just be a little more patient. Just don't get up and leave this right now just because it might be a little bit uncomfortable. So I continued to meditate, just really focusing on my breath. And what I started to do was, when I meditate, I like to, people say that you should have a mantra or something that you can kind of repeat to yourself, tell yourself, like a positive affirmation. So that's what I like to do sometimes. Simultaneously, really focus on my breath and really slow down my heart rate as much as I possibly can. Nice, deep, long breaths, and hold my breath for a while as well. Just really bring down the heart rate and bring myself into a relaxed physical and mental state. And the mantra or positive affirmation that I forget which one it was, but one that I usually have done is yeah, it was like I can do anything. I used to tell myself that I can do anything. And I also like to tell myself that I'm free to the infinite cosmos, which I know might sound a little bit odd, but I like doing it, so I'm not gonna stop. And anyways, I've also been writing a little bit more recently. Generally when I write, sometimes my writing kind of comes out in like slightly more poem form, poetic form. Again, not too structured, but that's just how it naturally comes out. I find that I can express myself more clear when I am writing. And there's been a couple times now, because what I used to do, going back to like when I was in college, like my most recent year, senior year, like just graduated, what I like to do sometimes on the weekends, especially like when I was hungover, which is kind of odd, but like I found when I was hungover, I was in like a very emotional state, oddly enough. I really don't know. I just found myself to be like on Sunday mornings, I would be kind of not like sad or anything, but like I felt like I was just more sympathetic and in tune with my emotions, which is odd because generally when you drink, it's kind of the opposite. You numb your emotions and senses. But what I used to do was I would like write sometimes, and it was like super relaxing. Relaxing is not a good word for it. It was introspective, and I found that I could let out a lot of my internal emotions and feelings through writing. And sometimes the writings I thought came out to be pretty nice, like super kind of abstract writing, but nonetheless it felt great to write it, free my feelings, and express myself. So I still continue to do that now. It's something I like to do. Back to the main point. Yesterday I was meditating, then I was like, okay, I want to write. And I just redid my room, so I have like this nice little small desk. And I have a notebook and pen that I've been writing in for years. Just various different things. So got off the floor, still in a meditative state, like a trance kind of almost. I just didn't start. Okay, what I've also found myself a practice that I've been doing with writing is I have like some particular subject in mind that I want to write about. Recently I've been doing that. So like one time I wrote about a particular person. I don't know why, it just came into my head and I was like, I want to write about this person. So I did that. Another time I wanted to write about creativity as like something to connect with, and how you can just like creativity as an entity. I don't know. So yesterday I was writing, honestly I forget what subject I was writing about, unfortunately. Anyways, point of the story was that I started writing about a particular subject. The first thing I did was write down the title. I have the subject and I have a title on it, and then I start writing on it. But I find that when I write, I can let the word, it literally feels like I'm not writing. Like I don't know if anybody else can relate to what I'm trying to get at, but it felt as if I was in a state of mind where like I wasn't doing the thinking. It was just all of anything that was like the stuff that what the words I was writing, I wasn't like thinking them of my own self. I was like almost completely in a trance where it like felt like mentally I was in another location, and what I was doing was allowing like the creative forces of the universe, allowing them to just flow into me, and like that's what I was writing. Like the words that were coming out were like, felt like a maybe what I was writing was like a super deep part of my subconscious, and I don't know, it just came out very nice. I would like to perhaps start posting some of those somewhere, maybe like a blog website or something. I don't know, maybe I'll do like readings on YouTube. Not something I'm entirely sure of, but I like the writing came out. It's very abstract, my writing, I find it to be, because I'll be in such like an altered state of mind that the writings are very kind of ambiguous, what the words are trying to tell. So it's very interesting in that regard, but I like it. And anyways, it was very peculiar because while I was writing that, and like in like the peak trance, call it what you will, I wasn't like rushing myself through the writing at all. It was like I would wait like a minute before I wrote down the next sentence because I was letting it come and flow through me. I don't know what it was. Because it wasn't like really me writing. It was like a deeper, I was just channeling something where these words were coming out of me, and it's like the logical part of my brain was just not on at all. And I also started to like have like a vision almost where I was like falling. While I was writing, like when I wasn't writing, when I was waiting for the words to come to me, I would close my eyes. I was taking like still like completely focusing on my breath work and being in a super relaxed trance-like state. While that was happening, for a portion, like I started to kind of like having visions, not like hallucinations at all, but it was more so like I was having these sensations where I was envisioning myself in the middle of space, like the empty space, and there were like stars around me and other planets, but it was mostly stars from what I remember, and I couldn't grab on. That was like the whole thing. It was like, that's what I was trying to, like, it felt like that's what was coming from like my subconscious level. It was like I just need to let go, and that's what I got out of it. It was like I was just falling through empty space, because that's ultimately what is happening here on Earth. We're just on a rock in the middle of an infinite empty cosmos, and that's what I completely felt like in that moment. I was like literally envisioning my body falling through space. Like, I don't know if any of you guys have ever seen the movie Get Out, but one of the main characters, when he gets like put into not a hallucination, but he got hypnotized, and there's a scene where he's like falling through darkness. That's what it literally fucking felt like for me. And I was like kind of seeing myself in the third person, just like falling through space, and there was nothing to grab onto, and I was like, wow, like I just gotta let go. So that's what I got out of that. It's that I need to completely let go of my sense of self and my ego if I want to get better and grow as a person. That was like a very pleasant experience. Sounds kind of scary. In a way, it kind of was, because once I started to recognize that I was holding on to myself, holding on to my ego, holding on to my false perceptions of myself, I realized that while I had that kind of like trance-like vision, and I said, I gotta let go, just let go, just let go. But I couldn't. I held on. But maybe with some more journeys to that path, if I can take some more journeys to that path, or journeys that might lead to that same path, perhaps with the help of mushrooms, if I can get myself some, just more meditating, more writing, more mindfulness, more deep breathing, more. Also, for the last couple of weeks, I've been going to this reservation area. Like, there's this huge water reservation surrounded by woods. So just becoming more connected with myself and the nature around me. That was such a pleasant experience, though. Like, looking back at it, that like sensation of falling through empty space and like trying to grab on but having really nothing to grab onto except for my perception of myself, which is really just my ego. That's what I kind of take away from that. Because also, I think it was maybe 2 weeks ago or so, not this, so that happened yesterday, what I just explained. And then I think it might have been last weekend, I also had a similar experience where I was actually writing as well. I've noticed the 2 times this has happened, it's been from writing. So I'm going to continue to do that now. Meditate and write more. So that happened yesterday, and then it happened again like last weekend where I was, again, it was like nighttime. This time it was nighttime. Yesterday it was like morning. And I was writing down at night with like a red little like bedside lamp on, just like low light, so it was pretty dark, but I still had enough light to see. And again, I had a subject in mind I was writing about, and I was kind of in a meditative trance-like state where I was kind of just drawing like from the space around me, becoming a magnet for, like, allowing myself to open up and become the antenna for whatever was to come out of me. I was drawing it into me first through the cosmos. Sounds kind of funny, but it ain't. It's funny. And what happened that time, though, was I had a similar experience where I was having like a visionary sensation, but this time, or the first time it happened like a week or so ago, instead of having that visionary sensation, I'll just call it that, instead of me falling through empty space where I was trying to grab onto myself, hold on to my ego, I was kind of having like a visionary sensation, like a pulled out perspective, and I was seeing like the culture, like the culture of humanity, and the way it kind of works in waves throughout the earth and the planet. I was like, from a drawn out perspective, third person perspective from out in space, I was seeing Earth, and I was seeing it in waves, and how the culture and everything, all the life, it moves in waves. And I was like, wow, like, you can like, it was just so profound. It was awesome. It was such a cool little thing. But it sucked because, like, so I was starting to have that, and like subconsciously I was aware of it, but then when I started to recognize it, like with my logical or like prefrontal cortex, I don't know what the fuck the term is, I started to recognize that, and then I started to like, and then it kind of faded away, and I was like, damn, because it was like I was trying to hold on to that, but I couldn't. That was, yeah. But anyways, that was really cool. I just like kind of had like a vision of the entire world as a cultural whole, kind of going through waves and like forever forming. non-stop creation. It was just the non-stop life here on Earth. That's what I was seeing, and I was seeing it like from a larger perspective. It was really nice. Yeah, that felt nice to talk about. I know I've been not like slacking, but I haven't been making videos like every day. It's been recently it's been like every like 3 days or so, which I'm okay with. I want to try to do more videos on like a near daily basis, but I don't like forcing videos if I don't want to. You know, it's kind of like if it's not there, it's not there. That's kind of how I feel about making these videos. But I don't want to stop. This is like, I really enjoy making these videos. I like it when I keep getting it. I'm like kind of addicted to on my phone looking at like the YouTube content creator app or whatever it is, and you can like see like your views and stuff, and I just keep looking at that. Such a bad habit. Especially like when I'm at work and I'm just like, oh, let me see how many views I have, and it's still the same. So it's like, I gotta stop doing that. Just continue to make more. That's what's more important. Just continue to create, be myself, continue to evolve as a person. That's what I want to do. Yeah, so those were really nice experiences that I had from writing and meditating recently. Hopefully that will encourage any of you to do something similar to that, whether it's like a form of meditation through writing, a form of meditation through just purely meditating, just sitting still in a dark room, or if it's a form of meditation. People like to read. I love reading too, but that's kind of more pleasure and learning. That's how I take it. But you can definitely, reading is definitely a form of meditation as well. I like walking a lot too. I think going for walks out in nature are very kind of meditative like. So, you know, whatever it is, do your thing. But I encourage you all to take up a little bit of writing and reading and meditating. I feel better. I think you will too. Also, something I want to try to get into, maybe I should, is just some regular therapy with a therapist. I think I could benefit a lot from that too. I'll just go out and say it. Particularly what I want from that is, I love it. It could be really nice to talk on a deep level with somebody who really wants to listen, or like who will listen, guaranteed. That's like such a good emotional tool as humans. Like, we need to talk and be heard by other people, vice versa. But fuck, I'm just gonna say it. My dad died when I was like 5 months old. So yeah, I have a stepdad, but just not like the best. So I also want to go to therapy, because if I could talk to another like male role model, I guess what I'm getting at is, I just want, like, it's just good to have like a good father figure. And again, like, I love my stepdad, but he's just not, just like my parents. Oh wow. I don't want to say a certain thing on the internet right now, to be honest, but I'll just say this: having good parents is fantastic, and I do. But having a good male role model is necessary. So that's what I want. Just or female role model as well. But having a father figure is like the best thing as a man myself. So that's what I want to. Somebody to kind of help guide me. I mean, that's what religion's good for too. In books, is you can find role models and father figures or motherly figures within literature and religion. So it's because life is hard, and doing it by yourself, everybody's by themselves ultimately. But having a good mentor, role model, is critical in my opinion. Alright, y'all. Again, if you're watching this, I appreciate that, especially if you're watching all the way to the end. That's cool. Yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it at that. So again, if you watched it, thank you. Even if you only watch a minute of it, that's cool too. But feel good. I feel good. I hope you feel good. Continue to create. Continue to be yourself and push boundaries. The human species needs to evolve, so we gotta continue to push boundaries. Thank you. I love you all.